Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Todd Talks, a podcast for our in-class program, Commercial Art and Design Media. Today, we're going to be talking about building a proper OAC, or Occupational Advisory Committee board. As you guys know, we are a satellite program. We are located over in the Oxford Area School District High School building. This has now presented an interesting problem for us. We have to be concerned with the fact that we can't get the OAC board present. And the presence of the board in the classroom is extremely important. I've learned that if I can get the board into the classroom, we can start talk about amazing things that go on. We can talk about our room layout. I have the added advantage of industry professionals to discuss whether or not we're meeting the Pennsylvania requirements for room layout standards, whether or not I'm doing the right job in the layout. So this is an added bonus. And guys, don't forget how important this is to our program. Having an OAC opens the doorways with the Department of Education. It allows us things like Perkins funding, which gives us grant money to increase and develop our classroom. So with the support of the board, bringing them in, having them see the classroom, it's going to give us an advantage. We're going to have more support. They're going to get excited. They're going to be passionate. They're going to be more involved. They're going to be more personally connected. So one of the things that Ken Midget expressed to me is that I have to find a way to make at least one of my meetings a year in person, in classroom, so that I can have our board members be excited about what we're doing. It's also going to give them a better understanding of what goes on in the classroom. Now, with that being said, we also have to look at the safety aspects of our classroom. We don't at the moment have any of our electronic devices, which do have potential electrical hazards. We don't have a lockout and tagout system in place. Bringing the board over can help increase the potential for having this happen because they can report back to our sending school, TCHS. They can say, hey, look, this has to happen. Again, our OAC board is there to support us. Having their signature, having their sign off, having their spoken word is going to increasingly help us with these problems. We also have to bring in a safety data system program. We need a binder on the wall that has the requirements in a binder form of all the safety protocols that need to be adhered to in the event of an emergency. These are all things that I'm learning in Temple, guys. This is very important to us. This is about our safety and about our protection. And our OAC board can help provide this. Another thing we learned is that without an OAC, the state of Pennsylvania, PDE, will not support our program. We will not be able to apply for things like Perkins funding. Perkins funding is important to us. It is going to allow us to apply for grant money for things that are a little bit outside of our task list, our POS, but some of these things may be important for the workflow of our curriculum. So in our meetings, we'll be able to discuss potential equipment needs, and we'll be able to then present this to the state of Pennsylvania and apply for Perkins funding to get this equipment. So this is going to allow us to enhance our curriculum. It's going to allow us to put some of those value-added tasks in place and help us move into the future to do some amazing things. So I thought this was wonderful, and I thought this was a great asset to us. The other thing that was brought to my attention in this meeting was the best practices of our classroom. I don't know, and I did not know, that there is a guide. PDE, or the state of Pennsylvania, puts together an operating manual on an effective OAC. I now know this because of this class that I'm taking. And what we can do now is dive deep into this, and we can help increase, grow, and elaborate on our Occupational Advisory Committee. A lot of great stuff coming out of this meeting. Last but not least, one of the most interesting things that I learned from Mr. Ken Midget in this meeting was how to grow, how to promote. And as you guys know, Mr. Anderson is all about growing and promoting our classroom. So he had said some amazing things like, make a video of what you do and then send it to the local newspaper. Have them promote that. That's just going to make people, it's going to draw attention to our classroom, and it's going to promote us. It's going to put us at the forefront in front of our administration, our directors at TCHS. And it's going to help us make our board more excited about what they're doing. We're going to be able to present this to the board saying, look at what you guys are doing. It's going to encourage them, and it's going to then make them want to be more part of our environment. So, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, in reflection, because it's very important to talk about how this relates to education, this is directly related to the Temple Standard of Reflective Thinking for me, because it is about reflection. We are reflecting on our classroom. We're going back into our environment. We're looking at what we've done. We're analyzing it. Looking at the flaws. Looking at where we can make it better. And we're going to do this together, guys. We're going to reflect on what we've done this year, and we're going to put a proposal together on how we can build our OAC, how we can make it stronger, how we can look at applying for grant money for more equipment, making sure our safety protocols are set in place. So to me, this is very reflective, because if it wasn't for the year that we had just gone through, if it wasn't for the training that I'm going through at Temple, we would not be able to go back and understand what we need to do to move forward. So thank you much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this week's podcast on Todd Talks on building a proper OAC. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful afternoon.